We're coming in a little late, but it looks like it's going to be Hyper versus Christina. Warrior bladestorming out of that root, trying to go for a leap, kind of phasing through the bridge there for a second. Struggling to find the Feral. It looks like the health is going to be gone with a commanding shout going away. That's going to be Ignore Pain. Coming online for Hyper, as he did have parry rolling. Every defensive has been used. Christina Jesus, a few more globals to take him out. Trying to go for the big. Condemns back-to-back versus Christina. Somehow still alive. Goes in for a big kill at the very last second. Where did that heal coming out of? That was an impending victory. Hondo beam. It looks like Christina might be out of globals, out of energy to make the damage happen. Thorns are available, and Hyper is just securing his own death at the very end of it all. Christina taking out the first guy of the day. With Archeor gonna be up next. Night Fae Orc trying to make his way over to Christina. Does hit him with look like a frostbolt, but it's actually just gonna be his images going for that. And Christina will not be able to get himself a proper reset. Gonna be a Ring of Frost. Do they have a trinket? They do. There's gonna trinket kick that G-Pie before it even starts to finish the cast fit. There's gonna be shifted power available before Arceus is trying to go for some big damage. Combustion available versus Christina. Pyroblast in a back-to-back. Christina popping wall, looking for that surviving. He's looking to survive the burst of a fire magus. And looks like surviving, he does. Trying to see if he can maybe catch himself a bit of a reset behind the pillar. Maybe even catch a re-stealth. I don't really know. Looks like they're not going to be able to poke it out from behind the pillar. Unafraid of the mage. Ready to rip, rake, and mangle. And Arhi got himself quite a bit of damage himself. Trying to go for another breath into a ring. But looks like that breath breaks a little early. All the time should keep Arhi safe against Christina's assault here. Trying to place a Ring of Frost maybe a little too early. And Arhi does have a limited amount of self-healing he can do. He needs to go for that Mage Foot immediately. Trying to sit on the edge of the Ring of Frost in case Christina leaps on him. Does get the Rake stun mid-air. He got some air time with that one. Breath to get the Feral off of him with a shifting power to follow for Arhi. Trying to get some cooldowns back. Could potentially be Ice Block or Cauterize out of this one. Blink it out of that stun. Christina is on him like glue. Big old bite, and Arhi does get the shield, securing themselves just a little bit of survivability without having to force Cauterize. But the bleeds for Christina, the dots just tore through his shield so quickly. It did give him back some health, but his shields are just not even doing it for him. Could be a Cauterize right here. Arhi does he still have dots on him? Looks like he does. Maybe a Cauterize? He does proc that caught. Doesn't go for a Greater Pyro. Decides against it. Goes for food instead. Another stun, but Christina has a blink for it. Iceblock is the only thing keeping him alive, but looks like the ultra time comes in right in the nick of time. Staying alive just for a little longer. My goodness, Christina really went aggressive this game. I don't even got to introduce the whole team. And Arhi, man, good blink, but next stun could be really bad for him. I think he is on DR though. Breath into an ice block. You know what? He felt like, you know what? I'm playing with fire here. I'm playing Fire Mage, but even I am playing with fire. I have to put myself on ice. I have to mend my wounds here. I have to get a reset, and there goes a shifting power. Christina actually tried to time the AoE to land that stun onto Arhi, not let him go anywhere with that root. Ring of Frost almost makes a play. All Arhi needs to do is wait until next breath. Might not even be able to do so. Big combustion onto Christina as he's trying to play it super defensively. Arhi does not have a lot of health available. Blink does give him a bit of a shield. Does refresh the rest of the shields. Looks like not too many dots are on Arhi. Not looking too bad. His health bar is very, very small. However, he's going to be able to get some healing back as Christina busts through that shield. For Arhi, though, he really needs to wait out until the next time he can get those shields online. That is the only way he's surviving right now, is by the shield. Looks like the Feral was caught in the trap, the freezing trap of a mage. Does Christina have a way out of it? Looks like Arhi actually does not go for a G-Pie. And Christina does catch himself a re-stealth. Arhi desperately needs to get himself some food or something, anything. That's going to be a stun by Christina. Blink available for Arhi. But bites are gonna secure the kill. Christina, unless he somehow just doesn't have any damage against the C-Pod, it's gonna be a comeback for Arhi. Not gonna let him make a comeback there. And Unstoppable is gonna be up next as an Elemental Shaman. With the Maldraxian shield getting quite a big buff, it's actually a DR ability. It does give it damage reduction. So it is quite nice. It's a defensive in a sense. And also the shield is quite huge right now. It's like 40% of your health. Normally it could be only 40 once you use it around corpses, but now it just gives you 40. Maybe it was 50 around corpses. I don't remember, dude. It used to be very, very small. But Unstoppable. How well is he gonna fare against a Pharaoh? Looks like he's gonna wait until he's about to pick up the eye, making sure that he's picking up the eye for real before he really tries to go for an opener. Unstoppable taking quite a bit of damage at the start here. Lightning Lasso for Christina is gonna bark skin for it. Unstoppable does at least secure himself just a little bit of setup for Christina. Dodging and juking that kick. Very well done for him. Is gonna be able to get a bunch of free casts in there, like damage, for example, trying to get frost shocks onto Christina. Hopefully to slow him down a hair. And there's quite a lot of hairs on this cat. Terrible joke, I know. Terrible, awful. But it looks like Unstoppable actually lived the opener by Christina, and looking like he doesn't want to let him get the re-stealth. Looks like the re-stealth is available for the Pharaoh. Has a thunderstorm if he wants to knock it back at any moment, but is not really feeling super pressured by now. Christina making sure to turn around, take out the totem. That's going to be Lightning Lasso to Christina. Does have to force the trinket here. Has the wall in the could. That's going to be a flesh cap for Unstoppable. 20% DR while he is channeling, and a pretty massive 40% of his health shield. I think DR'd with the, I think it is going to have reduction based on dampening though. Lava Burst trying to come out, going to be an interrupt. Unstoppable does get himself free cast. For Christina, this is a tough situation to be in. Do you interrupt the Lava Burst, where quite a lot of damage could come out for Unstoppable, or do you stop his heals, which also could be quite big? You got to be big healing surges as a combo coming out. Unstoppable does actually stop himself from getting the heals just to interrupt it. Cyclone coming up for Christina, does land a tricky coming in for Unstoppable with Stormkeeper right after. Christina could maybe go for a wall here, choosing not to. Lightning Lasso comes in. The bar skin is back up though. And looks like Unstoppable is setting up for a big old knockback. Christina does have the leap for it, leaping right on him. Big cooldowns coming out for Christina, but he's at super low health. Is it going to be able to recover? Interrupt him on fire. Nashikasa going to go through big bites back to back though. And Christina making sure to take down the totems to make sure Unstoppable does not get any value off of those. Lightning bolts might not be enough, and Unstoppable looks like he is rotating the Earth Elemental. Not really sure if he's feeling pressured by Christina and he just wants to be safe, or if that's something he would have done no matter the situation. Christina does have a kick coming in 6 seconds. And Thorn's available. I guess it's going to hurt that Earth Elemental a little bit because he is meleeing him. Unstoppable and Christina are neck to neck right now. Wall still available for Christina. Still making sure to take down the totems for Unstoppable. Free Lava Burst comes out. Did not have Primordial Bolt with that one. And there goes the Primordial Bolt setup. Next Lava Burst could be huge. Big damage on Christina out of nowhere. That is Elemental Shaman damage. Just kind of happens at a snap of your fingers. Try not to get juked by Christina. There goes the stun. Shortest stun ever. Into a Stormkeeper. Does get interrupted on it. Lava Burst should be pretty big here. Christina looking... Oh, actually, I guess Lava Burst wasn't as big. I guess he used a Lava Burst early with Primordial. And it just didn't really have the biggest slap together. It's sometimes really difficult to track whether he does use a Lava Burst or not. Especially when he's in melee. Because you don't really see the Lava Burst animation nearly as easily when there's like up close. But looks like Christina is not giving the chase at all. Landing that kick. That's going to be Fire Elemental rotated by Unstoppable. Christina has a trinket and everything available here. Trying to make some damage happen. Staying aggressive. Popping wall to stay aggressive. Trinkets out of the lasso. Unstoppable does have a wall of his own back up. And Christina does catch up on Southfields. Looks like Christina is playing the Restoration Affinity. Big Convoke the Spirits coming out on the side. So Unstoppable does get those back-to-back bites. Massive Earthshock back at the Pharaoh. Unstoppable, who's going to win here at this point? Christina trying to avoid the totem. Leaping right back to Unstoppable. A big bite right after. Does Unstoppable recover here at all? He's in a super bad spot. Looks like he just stopped moving altogether. And Christina just trucked him down all the way. Next up is going to be Titanios. Christina coming out with a massive damage in the opener. Barskin available for Titanios. How do you even have a defensive after going through juggernauts like that back-to-back Archeoric? Unstoppable. How do you go against those guys and then rotate your cooldowns so perfectly that you still have someone for Titanios after him? Titanios, it looks like he's the one who set up the Ursos, or Christina did. It's hard to tell. Somebody's Ursos. I want to say it's maybe Christina's, because I'm pretty sure Christina is not in a bear affinity. Otherwise, we would have seen a roar. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Swiftman or two. Landing that opener reset on Titanius, forcing out a Barskin out of him pretty early with a wall too. Lots of defensive getting used. Trying to go for that cheeky hibernate. Christina comes in. Big bite through the Barskin and the wall. Imagine if those defenses were not up. I think Titanius would have been basically a goner. Christina trying to get himself a regrowth or two. Should be in a decent spot. Titanius, do you still have dots in you? He's staying in a bear form for quite a while. Cat form landing the opener from Christina. The 10 is not looking that good. Next bite could be really deadly. Has Thorns and Thorns for Thorns bounce to Titanius. Does Christina commit the damage? Thorns could be really bad, but Titanius is so low. And there goes the seed pod. Christina needs to kill the seed pod, not Titanius, because the seed pod does not have Thorns. And down goes the other Feral. Vibing, the last one left on Team 1. Are you playing the vent? Oh, playing the vent here. And the vent they get buffed, man. So Flame Shot could be really good. Does have the Ursuls for vibing. Christina leaping on top of vibing with a bite. But vibing is sending quite a bit of damage back to Christina. Does have Barskin for those kill shots. As we're hitting that 10-minute mark right now. Vibing needs to play this game super carefully against Christina. I feel like this Feral still has combo coming up very, very soon. Trinket available at a moment's notice. Nova Barskin for a bit. Wild not available for a while either. Big bites out of Christina. And Vibing does go for a self-heal. Needs to make sure he's dealing with the bleeds. Maybe even CC needs to come out. Otherwise, he could be in a really dangerous situation. There goes the Convoke. Does have the intro, but Christina does go biting through the feigned death. And that's just going to be the Feral dominance here. My god, almost a million damage out of this cat. Quite a lot of healing as well. And I don't think Feral's got any kind of update this 905.